Good day, welcome to another episode of Adventures in Old Code. As I promised last time, today we're going to look at Fly. Yeah, guess what that's about? All right. Fly. Without further ado, let us... First I see a waiting loop here. So before I even run this program, we're going to increase this by a factor of 100 to get the original feel. And here we go. I guarantee you this is not the original feel. Okay, let's try something else here. Oh, and this is in a... Ooh. Oh, I put in a loop until escape button is hit. Okay, right on. Okay, let's take away that factor of 100 because that's... Oh, you know what? My cycles... I had changed that, I wonder. I don't know. Let's try again. Okay, here we go. Fly. Now, yes, I do remember this. I remember this very well. And the name Albert comes to mind. So this is a story from high school in my computer science class. I think it was for some sort of an assignment, but I had to, can't remember what we had to do, but I made this little dot move around the screen in a very random pattern, and it looked like a fly to me, and so I called it Albert the Fly. And then I got home and wanted to recreate it, and so I tried my best to recreate the program, and I remember feeling like I didn't quite have it right because the movement of the dot wasn't quite fly-like. But actually this is looking pretty good. He's flying around the screen. So let's see how I accomplished this. Yeah, he just goes on forever and ever and ever. Okay, let's have a look. Screen 13. This is one of the, I think, few programs where I use screen 13. If you recall, screen 13 gives you 256 colors, and you sacrifice number of colors for the screen resolution. I think it's only 320 by 200. But that's okay, because apparently all I needed was a single dot. All right. Screen 13, clear the screen. So X, oh, there we go. Random function. Randomized timer. Screen 13, clear the screen. X is a random number between 1 and 318. Y is a random number between 1 and 1. Guess what that's going to be? Okay, so X is, I'm guessing, the X coordinate. Y is the Y coordinate, the starting coordinate. Okay, the PSET command. That's a new command. Right on. So PSET, I mean, there's not much to say about PSET. It's literally the simplest graphical construct you can do. PSET, pixel set. Set the pixel at this X value and this Y value to be this color. And that's color 15, which is white. Now, if I wanted to change this to be something else, 14, that would be our nice bright yellow. But I claim this was screen 13, so I think I can even do color like 197. You could probably barely see that. That's a very dark pale blue. Anyway, we'll stick with 15 because that's more original. There we go. Okay. So this is literally just take that random coordinate you generated and put the dot of light right there, bright white. And that's it. And then we have X-fac and Y-fac. And this is curious. Okay, so X-fac is a random number, 1, 2, or 3, minus 2. So if the random number chosen was 3, it would be 1, because we're subtracting 2. If it was 1, it would be negative 1. So at the end of the day, X-fac is either negative 1, 0, or 1. Okay, 1 second. As always, I feel nervous about I'm not recording, but I indeed am. Okay, and Y-fac similarly. So this clearly stands for Y factor. X factor and Y factor. Okay, then wait for a little bit. And then PSET that same coordinate, but this time color 0, so black. It basically erases the color, or erases your pixel that you just set. And then, okay, here we go. If X plus X-fac is less than 1. So every time through the loop, I'm going to add X-fac to X and Y-fac to Y. And because this could be negative 1, 0, or 1, the values are going to oscillate, and that's how you get this bouncing back and forth. Sometimes it decreases, sometimes it increases, and sometimes it stays the same in both directions. The problem is if you're to the end of the screen, you don't want the fly to fly outside the screen, and similarly up and down. So if you're already at the edge, make sure you don't go off the edge, and that's what these next checks are for. So if in a hypothetical world, if I were to take my x-coordinate and add the x-fac, if that results in something that's less than 1 or greater than 318, remember the screen width in screen 13 is 320, then what I'm going to do, if that's the case, if doing the normal thing results in going outside those boundaries, then I'm going to negate x-fac. So if I'm at the right edge of the screen, I guess in your perspective it's this edge, if x-fac was positive, then make it negative. So I'm going back towards the middle of the screen. And similarly with y. Now the interesting thing here is, look at this, the check for the lower boundary of y is 318. But I wonder if we can actually see, if I hit F1 on the screens here, to verify. Screen 13, here we go. Fantastic. 320 by 200 graphics. And all that stuff. All that fantastic stuff. Okay, so it is indeed 320 by 200. So the fly, if we let it, would be able to fly down to the bottom of the screen and past it. Just for kicks, let's do that. We're going to start him out at 195. And now let's run him. See, he's off the screen now. You can't even see him. Is he ever going to come back? Maybe not. Because my check was outside the boundary. What this really should be is probably Apparently I wanted 2 pixels less than the width, or the maximum value for that dimension. So that's probably what I had in mind. And this way, he'd sort of stick around. All right, so that was a mistake on my part back in the day. Let's give that back, put that back to normal. Okay, and then I just add the x back to the x and the y back to the y, and I keep looping until I hit escape. So that's pretty cool. The one thing I want you to try, let's just play with this for a little bit. What happens if I don't reset? What happens if I don't erase the fly every time? Will that look cool? I would say yes. The answer is yes. That does look very cool. Okay. I think this is called Brownian motion, but it would just be in the 4 directions. Brownian motion, I think, from the recesses of my mind back when I was reading physics textbooks in my spare time, is the movement of particles, and at any given instant they can go in a random direction. So they get the full 360 in both axes to move, and this is just up or down, left and right, but similar kind of logic. The other thing let's do is let's not erase the fly every time, but instead of white, what if we did all the random available colors? What will that do? Woohoo! Well, okay. See, that looks really pixelated, like some old school computer graphics there. Excellent. What else can I do? I think that's about it. The only other thing I can think of doing is erasing the fly but keeping the random colors. And now he's a psychedelic fly. And he's flying around. So there it is, Fly. Yep, and he's been, he has a name, Albert the Fly. That's what I called him. And that's where he is. That's who he is, not where he is. Let's put this back to 15 so we can see him in all his glory. Perfect. Well, I do believe this is the shortest program we've done so far in Adventures in Old Code. It's only 18 lines. Fantastic. All right. Join me next time for more adventures in Old Code. Have a nice day.